In the economic calculation, we have to add also two more components which normally are not included. One is the health cost created by the pollution of oil and other polluting energy sources. And the second is the ecological cleanup that needs to come after such disasters. By the way, not only such disasters. On the regular basis, we are driving here the cars in the city of Belgrade, 2 million people. I don't know exactly the number of cars, but these cars pollute, and there is oil that goes into the underground soil, and so on and so forth. This is something that leaves a prolonged, devastating remark. Israel, not so much because of an advantage that others do not have, but it is no different. We have no more sun than many other countries have. We are not more dependent on oil than many other countries are. But the geopolitical reality and the presence of very significant forces of scientists and the money that goes into the R&D, we have been working, and I'm very glad to say that we are today the #1 investor in the world in R&D as percentage of the GNP. We invest over 5% of our GNP in research and development. Much of it also goes to the field of alternative energy and clean tech. And we have developed very significant technologies which are in the forefront in the field, whether it is solar energy, whether it is biomass. We have come to the realization that probably in Israel, wind technology is going to be applied, and definitely that is going to be one of the alternatives. But in Israel, wind technology is not going to be a major source of alternative energy. We are experimenting with producing energy from the sea waves and many other areas. Of course, biomass, I think I mentioned. In addition, we were lucky enough to have discovered in the last 2 years, 3 years maybe, extremely large quantities of natural gas on the offshores of our country. And in a very quick process, we are now transferring much of our energy supply structure, particularly for the production of electricity, to the use of natural gas. And we have also, by the way, we have come to the conclusion, although we have quite a lot of gas, it is not good strategically to be dependent on a sole source of energy. So we are not transferring all of our electricity supply to natural gas. We are going to continue to have a diversified source, but much of it will be independent in the form of natural gas. The question is, of course, how do governments respond to the need and to the changing trends? As I said, when it comes to technologies, Israel has been in the forefront for some time. But when it comes to application in the country, we were lagging behind. So we had, it is funny, but Israeli companies build the largest solar plants in the world, whether it is in California or in Spain or in other places, but not in Israel. Not in Israel. So the world acknowledged the advantage of technology. But in Israel, due to regulatory obstacles and policies, we did not build those, and believe me, we had enough sun. The same goes when it comes to something else, somewhat connected, and that is desalinating water. The Israeli companies build desalination plants all around the world only in the last 10 years. We have massively started to desalinate water for our own use in the country because lack of choice. And when it comes to energy, Well, there is one thing that we have had in Israel traditionally, quite unique, and any one of you visiting Israel could have been impressed with the fact that almost all the roofs in the country are covered by normally two solar panels, and we have traditionally for many years heated the water for individual consumption in the household by solar energy. We estimate that it is saving us about 3% of the total cost of energy annually. But this has been done for a long time, and it is, of course, limited. The question is, what else do we do? So in the last few years, I would say, in self-criticism, finally, Israel has decided to go through extensive legislation and reform to encourage the building of large solar plants, medium-sized solar plants, and even the household solar plant, so that an individual that wants to build a small solar plant on his roof will be connected to the electrical grid of the National Electrical Company, and he will be able to sell the surplus of what he produces to the electrical company. And that is the process that we are going through now. Small farms, or in the agricultural area, and companies, malls, anything that has a certain area as a roof and wants to cover that roof with solar panels is encouraged to do so. Will be connected, and there are already beginnings, is connected to the national grid and is capable of selling the surplus of electricity that he produces, and the electrical company is forced by law to purchase that electricity by a minimum fee, which is that minimum fee ensures that A, the electrical company will purchase electricity, and B, it will be at a cost which is going to bring back the investment in a certain period of time to the individual household or to the larger investor.